Anybody else want a piece? Lei Wulong.
How's it going, guys? It's Pepperbeef2Spicy here, and I'm joined by Mr.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, Suiken.
Suiken of UYU, and he is the LEI of California. There's other LEIs in America, so he might not be the LEI of America, but he's definitely the LEI of the West Coast, and he's been around for a while.
I think since we left Tekken 6 LEI before, and I think I'm still LEI of America.
Oh, okay. Exalted over here would have something to say about that.
Oh yeah, Dave. What's up, Dave? How you doing? How's that Nieners working out for you?
Nice.
No, just kidding.
I have his number. I'll let you know. I'll let him know. Yeah. Anyway, so what we're doing here is I went to Twitter and I went to Discord, the LEI Discord server, and I asked a bunch of peeps out there. I put the call. You got questions about LEI, since I know a lot of you people are coming in from Tekken 7. You 17ers are coming in and they're like, what is LEI? How does it even work? I don't understand this character. Is he cool? Is he whack? Is he really hard? Is he really easy? Is he going to be annoying? Oh, he's definitely going to be annoying. Or is he going to be, whatever. All these questions about LEI. And I asked you guys to give me some questions for me and Suiken to answer. Suiken is the more senior LEI player here. I started playing LEI as my first character in Tekken Tag 2, so my experience with him is mostly limited from that game, but I played him for the entirety of that. But Suiken's been playing LEI since longer than DR, right? Before DR? Even before that?
Yeah, I played him a little bit in 4 and adapt in Tag a little bit, but I didn't really start competitive until 5.0 Tekken.
No, that's still a while. So he's many years of LEI experience. And I just ran into Furumizu at Summer Jam.
Yeah,
I was fanboying like crazy.
Oh, dude, me too. I met Furumizu in 2012, I think, in Japan, and this was man, he's on a whole new level with LEI. It's really great. He taught me a lot. And watching other LEI players play differently, it's just one of the most amazing things to see, because the character is its unique style and developed through its player, the person that's controlling him.
Definitely. It's kind of like how you see Kazumi is always like very similar playstyle at the high level, always down 4-1, 1-1, down back 4, like some kind of change of intervals between the moves. But LEI is so versatile as a character that almost no two LEI players play the same. It's crazy.
Exactly. Like, exactly. It's that's why I never considered myself like the LEI of America thing. I've always said a lot of people call me that, and it's kind of weird to me to be said that. I've only based my status with LEI as a character specialist. For example, I've never dropped LEI, and the only time obviously I switched out of LEI is when LEI is no longer in the game, right? And we're forced out basically, but you're forced to adapt as a player, right? And as a character specialist like you yourself or anyone else that uses a specific character, for example, the season 2 patch that just dropped, just recently, yesterday, we have a clamoring of a lot of players already opting out to leave their main characters for someone better, right? And that is that baffles me a lot, because I thought people that choose their characters choose it based off the love of the character, right? They go with the game. What makes you have fun, right? But when a lot of people start deciding to switch out, you get stamped differently, right? Everyone calls you a betrayer or not a character special, things like that. And then throughout the whole series of LEI from 5 until now, until he's going to come back the last 4 years, I've always used LEI no matter the condition he was in. When he was top tier, he was S tier in 6.0 in vanilla, but 5 and 4, 4 he was awful, 5 he was decent, 5 DR he was above average, and 6 he was okay. But I stuck with them and I competed and stayed with them, and I guess I made a name for myself as being a very consistent LEI player. So I think with that, I think I'm very grateful to have Namco introduce a character with such unique style, especially with fighting stances like this, special movements, just just the overall fun character. So
yeah,
I can't wait.
There is really no other character like LEI out there. So many people are in Tekken 7. They're like, is LEI similar to X character? And I'm really like, no, no. There is no replacement for LEI. He's I've been playing fighting games. I mean, since I was a kid. Like I'm born in 1993. And yeah, I know. Look,
youngster.
I'm young, but I'm not as young as people think I am.
Yeah, everyone thinks you're 16, but I tell them the truth. You're like 45.
Yeah, I'm 45. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm 45. And I started playing fighting games seriously in 2008. I started with Soul Calibur 4, and yeah. And then here's the background is I started with Siegfried because I was a kid and I was like, oh man, the main character, and he's so edgy and he has a big sword. I was like, oh man, he's so cool. And then I found out he's all these stances, and I was like, wow, I like doing all this like mix-up thing. And then I started playing Tekken from Soul Calibur. I transferred over, and then I was like, oh man, it's Jackie Chan, and then he has like 12 stances. I'm like, this is the bomb. So, and I played Marvel for a while. I played a little bit of Injustice. I tried Street Fighter for a while, Soul Calibur, but in all of those games, LEI is still the #1 most fun, unique character that I've ever come across. There's no other character like him out there. He's crazy. Yeah. He's crazy. Oh, yeah. He's crazy. And thanks, Namco, for bringing him back.
Yeah, shout out to Namco.
Shout out to Namco.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's quite so. So without further ado, let's get into the questions here. Now we've got the introductions out of the way. From Discord, we've got Beef Lord, who asks, very broadly but very important question: what is LEI's difficulty?
I just want to make sure I heard that correct. What is LEI's difficulty?
Yeah, that's correct.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, the difficult. See, the thing with LEI is for every animal stance, there is a positive reason for this stance, and there's also a really weakness to each stance. Getting to understand each stance in its entirely is actually LEI's downfall, because every time LEI goes into a stance, there's a way to beat it, and it's crucial. If you take away LEI's animal stance, you have a standalone type of character with LEI. LEI thrives on mix-ups caused by these animal stances that he possesses. So if you're able to take apart his stances in every situation, obviously, you can easily beat LEI without him. Without those stances, he is a dead character. Is what I'd say.
You shouldn't be playing LEI if you're not going to use the stances. Like you're wasting the character pretty much.
Yeah, I mean you're not wasting the character. I would still say like you have to be really fluent. It takes a long time to be fluent enough to know like, okay, is he gonna poke me out of my stance? Is he gonna hop kick me when I go into a stance that can't block mids? Or is he gonna go low when I can't block low? Things like that, right?
A lot of option selects that you don't know they're aware about. And then as a result of that, you're trying so many different things over a long period of time just to learn how to fight your opponent.
Yeah. So with that, you could definitely tell like the when you play someone with LEI as a seasoned player versus a new player, right? There's only key attacks that newer players use with LEI because they seem more viable. But if you're using multiple stances at all his attacks, it seems very wild. Like it seems like, what is he doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And when you're at that position, you have that opponent second guessing everything he's doing. So he's fighting two battles. He's fighting you and he's fighting himself to basically fit. Yeah. So
definitely agree. And then of course,
I hope that answers the question, by the way.
I think that's a pretty good answer. I think it's specifically answering him as using him in gameplay, like against smarter opponents. And even against, not so smart opponents, you don't know what exactly they do know and what exactly they don't know.
And, and so you got to test them.
You got to test them.
Yeah.
But I think also part of that question is probably how hard is it to pick LEI up? Like, never played a character like LEI. How easy is it to get into him? That's probably something to address there.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was thinking that he is, without a doubt, the most move-intensive character in the game. I mean, not counting the fact that he has the most moves in the game, but he also has the most amount of special properties and the most amount of transitions to stances. So there's quite a bit of memorization and involves when you're playing Lei, and that's going back into what you said about knowing how to read an opponent that knows what you're doing with Lei, and that means they also know Lei. And there's all this sorts of mini meta games that are going on with these specific moves, like, oh, you know, I have this really sweet mix-up that I'm putting up with Lei, and then he stops ahead and it's like, oh, he knows that, let me change it to a different mix-up, and so you have all these, like, tons and tons of moves jumbled in your head to work with, and sometimes the answer isn't necessarily changing your move, but changing how you use it, and it's Tekken meta combined with Lei meta, and it's gets really confusing later down the line. But execution-wise, he's not too bad, usually.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward character. Down forward attacks, forward attacks, you know, down back, down forward, you know, things like that. Down. It's just pretty straightforward. I think without the stances, you can learn Lei normally as a Tekken character. What, hop kick, down forward 2, sidestep.
He's pretty generic. He has a lot of generic.
Generic, yeah. And then the only thing that really like opens the gates for him, like is the eighth gates, all these stances, these special stances, drunken style. Not only that, we like seeing them perform in game when you've only seen them in movies with Jackie Chan, right? And we all know Lei as like a comedy act character, right? He's always getting himself into trouble, and he's always like one step ahead of the villain, but then only getting himself in trouble towards the end, right? It's kind of like one of those things. So I think he's very fun. You would have to break down Lei in a very simple, as simple as possible, and that's learning him as a base character first. Build that base, then work on that mold, you know, and refine. Yeah, refine it, because if you start going into that character and you start messing with every manimal stance, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this and this, you're gonna get caught up in a point where if this doesn't work, what do I do next? All of a sudden, you have nothing to rely on of understanding. So, I would definitely tell anyone picking up Lei to do that. Go with the base, then work on the core, and mold the rest.
Makes sense. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Start small and work your way from there. All right, so that answers it pretty much. Would you say he's among the harder characters to learn in the game? For sure, right?
Yeah,
I would agree. I would agree.
Yeah. It takes a long time to. I mean, I don't want to say a long time because you know, this day and age now, Tekken 7, everyone's so already used to it. I think if you have the base knowledge already with the character, but I think mastering him takes a while. I think that's what
I definitely agree as well. And he's definitely harder for reasons that other characters are also hard. I mean, like he's different. They're different reasons.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a pretty good satisfactory answer there. So number 2 from Twitter, GamerDad420, interesting name, asks, Lei has so many options for a new player like me. Where do I start with learning intelligent pressure and essential unique tools? Now, I know we just talked about how learning small would really help with learning the character, but I guess we should talk about like resources that would be helpful in learning how to play Lei. I mean, you have your level up your game stuff. That's still pretty relevant, I think. It's still pretty useful.
I don't know. I feel so embarrassed every time I think about that.
Oh no! I started with that, so
yeah. You know, when I started, I didn't have a lot of content for me. So right now, your opportunity as a newer player, or just a new player, or a player picking up a new character like Lei, there's so many people you can watch that used to play Lei, like Furumizu, for example, is one of them. Tetsuo was in Tekken 5. He's probably a legend. Ranchu.
His haha step is ridiculous. Yeah.
It's just amazing. You have you also have Help Me from Korea as well. Any of these videos you can always backtrack and look. Of course, I'll level up your game that I have on there. Young Suiken back in the day. It's a very long, but it kind of breaks down a lot of what you're gonna see in Tekken 7. I think that would probably be the most recent one you can look at. I mean, and then check in with a Pepperbeef. He's gonna put out some tutorials and some info.
A lot of people have been asking me about that. And it's like the answer is me laughing because what do you think? I'm gonna say no?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. I also have a decent amount of Lei tutorials I made in Tag 2. But I think like you, looking back on it, I was embarrassed because I was very good at knowing how to play LEI, but I wasn't very good at playing Tekken. So I knew the character very well, but I didn't know how to play Tekken meta very well. Yeah. But it's also a decent stepping stone to just understanding how the character works.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense. Number 3 here, Squally, also from Twitter, asks, all right, this could be a long one, so we could do that. It depends how long you want to take it. What are his top 15 moves and pros and cons historically as a character?
Let's do a shorter version because
top 7.
Top 7? Yeah, we could do a top 7. We could do top 7. Yeah, let's do top 7.
You go.
Because yeah, 15 moves is a lot with LEI, and a lot of people are not going to comprehend 15 and apply that 15 moves into the game.
We're going to be talking for a while.
Forever. Yeah.
Pretty much.
So I guess I'll name my top 7. Well, and you can name your top 7, and then we can like work on that together, right? I mean, I'm sure most of all, I think we'll have the same understanding of both of these moves, right? Type of deal.
For sure.
Obviously, his number 1 move is Razor Rush. It's his most aggressive attack and defensive attack.
Yeah.
In game, at any time you apply this pressure, it's definitely gonna make the opponent either stop what he's doing and either freeze up or kind of just let the mix-ups fly. I mean, it's LEI's bread and butter, I would say. Very dangerous. So Razor Rush is number 1 in my opinion. His down 4-2 safe. It's probably another 15 frame launcher. Doesn't launch crouching, but it's safe also, which is great. Anytime you have a safe down 4-2 for a launcher, yeah, it's always gonna be a good thing. His next one is this 4-4-3. I think it's the most deceptive launcher, mid-frame launcher from out of nowhere. You can buffer it as well. You can buffer it while transitioning from his forward neutral, so it looks scary. It's definitely intimidating. It launches really far, 16 frames. It also can end with a high or cancel on back turn for mix-up. So you really have to be like really keen on that. And but I use that a lot, and it's super scary.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, that's a down back 4-4, another pressure tool. Super scary. I almost feel like it's unseeable sometimes for a lot of people. Always, it's like it goes into a low high, but it's knockdown, and it makes you want to duck every time. Yeah. So it's
getting knocked down by low in general. It's mad annoying. Yeah. It's so annoying.
Yeah. And then transitioning from down back 4 into forward into drunken, that's a combo.
So you thought Devil was the only one with a launching sweep?
Yeah, seriously.
Think again.
And we don't even know if this tail spins in Tekken 7. A lot of people are saying, please don't tail spin, because even I would say if it tail spins, it's over. That's too OP. The next one would be his back turn down 1. And throughout the whole series, back turn down 1 is this low tripping attack. From back turn, it's in the previous Tekken tag, it's +5. Only knocks down on counter hit, but in Tekken 5 and 6.0 and 6.0 before Bloodline Rebellion, it would always knock down normally and give you a combo.
That was what were they thinking?
Yeah, dude, but I mean, it still was launch punishable by most characters.
Okay, then so
but it was really hard because back then, if you go back turn, it's either low or mid, so 50-50. You're either gonna duck and get launched, or you're gonna stand and get launched.
Now the viewers are definitely getting an idea of what LEI is like. I mean, he doesn't have that now, but it's pretty close.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be plus on hit. It's not gonna knock down with counter hit. I think they're gonna keep that the same. But if Lord Harada is listening, if you have it on knockdown, thank you. I know I saw a couple of his new moves already, and man, they look really interesting. I actually I've taken a shine to some of them already, like playing it out in my head. But besides that, I know we can't count those yet. I like his 3-4, which is the cartwheel kick.
Tornado kick.
Tornado kick.
Yeah.
Plus, good wall pressure. Can fall down. It's pretty deceiving. It's and you can do 3 at the same time. It really hurts big characters like Gigas or Jack because you're super plus and they can't escape you if you want to do a mix-up after that. So that's pretty good. Where is that? 6? I've lost count of 6.
I think, what did you do? Okay, Razor Rush, forward 4-3, down 4-2, down back 4-4, back turn down 1, and then now, what did you just say?
Tornado kick. Tornado.
So you're at number 7. You're at number 7.
Number 7. See, I'm so glad we didn't go to 15 because that
we would have kept going. We could have kept going.
Yeah.
We could have kept going.
And up forward 3. Up forward 3.
I would have
yeah.
This, yes.
Yeah. Up forward 3. Safe launcher cancels out. You can cancel out when it was safe. You cancel out from crane. Counter hit launch plus on hit.
It's pretty. That's a crazy move. It's a crazy move.
Yeah.
Yo, it was plus 11 on hit. Ugh.
Yeah, it was dirty, and I loved it. Yeah.
Man. It had some weird big ass hitbox where even if you were expecting it would still hit you.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. But those would be my 7.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, you explained probably with most of mine. There's gonna be a few changes in there. I mean, Razor Rush for the same exact reasons, like counter hit, free stance transition if you hit it, and then the 50-50 mix up at the end. I mean, it's like. It's a dessert all in one move. It's so many things, and it's so great. It's also pretty fast, and you know, it's a lot of damage. It's just a lot of damage.
Yeah. Counter hit it hurts. It
hurts bad. It's like, okay, the counter hit into the mix up at the end, or just into free stance transition. Crazy. Down 4-2 for sure. I mean, having a generic 15 frame safe launcher. That's crazy. That's crazy good. You just keep using it. It's like, oh, it doesn't work. Well, I'll try again next time. And there's nothing wrong with having it blocked. I mean, you take a mix up, and even sometimes you don't even take that mix up. Yeah. 4-4-3, probably one of the best whiff punishers in the game with the built-in mix up with the back turn or the high. I would also say down by 4-4. That essentially a hell sweep. That's also a clean hit launcher. Or you do the back turn, you know, into the back turn down 4 and then make something with that's also really dirty. Also good with up 4-3 crane launcher is the 16 frame counter hit, super hop kick I call it. And then I would actually go with Wolf Rush, forward neutral 4-1-2, right?
Ooh,
Wolf Rush, because I mean, the thing is with that one is that, you know, the dick jab is really strong against it, but you know, as a counter hit tool, that's insane that you could get, like, starting off at the wall spat like 50 damage in Tekken 7. Imagine. It's a really one of the easiest counter hit confirms in the game because you get the big hit spark on the first move and then it delays into the other move. For the viewers at home, you don't know what you're talking about. Forward neutral 4-1-2 is it's a high strain that goes into several different mids and stance transitions. That's probably one of the longest strings in the game if you do the whole darn thing. What is that? 4-1-2, 2-2, then 4-4-3. Like, it's just like 8 hits or something like that. And there's like a billion different kinds of mix-ups you can do in there. You can do 4-4-1 into Tiger, into Dragon, and you do all the way in the middle into Dragon again, and then you could not finish the string. I mean, not go into a stance and sidestep bait, hop kick, whatever.
And you can continuously loop it again. Go into
from Dragon, you can keep doing it over and over and over again. And the creativity from that stance is really something. Also, it's technically a 12 frame Punisher. Technically, it's just really hard. Technically a 12 frame. I mean, it's hard. But it's hard. It's there. It's there.
Yeah, you can definitely do it though. Yeah, you see, it's all timing. You know, after you take that 12 frame block in motion, hit the forward neutral, let your controller go to neutral, depending on if you're using stick. Usually I use stick. Go neutral, then hit the inputs, and you'll get it. It just takes practice.
Yeah, exactly. Just takes practice. What was that number? I lost count too. I think that was number 5. 6.
Was it 6? 6.
It might have been 6. So I got one more to the list. That's hard. Now it's getting hard because like I'm just running through all the mix-ups. Okay, so I'm basically I'm gonna be a cheater. I'm just gonna say Tiger Stance. I'm just gonna say Tiger Stance because the absurdity of the mix-up in that stance is ridiculous because. It's either going to be an unseeable low launcher that has pretty decent tracking and pretty good range too, or you're going to duck that and I'm going to use a billion safe mids. And all those mids, well, there's like one that's not safe, but all of them have their own built-in purpose for different situations except they're all mid. You know, Tiger one's the fast one and it's plus, and then the counter launch, and now it's going to be a rage drive launcher.
Yeah.
And then Tiger 1+2 is the really heavy hitting mid. That's also released at tons of plus frames. Now it's gonna be a wall bounce. And then Tiger 3 is the quick wall splat into the City Snake if you want to.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna replace Tiger 2 in this game. It looks like with the Tiger 2 too.
It looks like it's gonna be a natural combo. It's gonna be that 2-2, right?
It looks like it hits. Yeah, hits pretty hard too. It definitely looks like it.
So it looks like that's gonna be dirty.
Already cooking up plans. So the thing about Tiger Stand, and then it has the auto mid-high parry. And then it has good movement too. You can mix the up by backing up, and decent forward movement. Like the stance overall is, I just think like how could they fit so many good moves into one stance? I don't understand it.
It's definitely one of his best stances for sure. The pressure is great.
Oh, and this is gonna be a weird mention. Honorable mention to 4-4-3+4. I think that's decent as an approach tool because if you block it, there's that weird like, doesn't it like fall backwards or is that only on hit? If you maybe it's only on hit, because if you block it, I think you go straight into play dead, or is it only on hit? See, now we're getting mixed up with information.
Yeah, I'm getting mixed up. I'm trying to think. Say that again. Say that one more time.
4-4-3+4 hits. I know he bounces back. That's for sure.
He flips backwards, right?
Right, but if
it's just like his one throw when he used throw and then he flips back and he hits the wall.
See, even his generic throws are weird. And then if he blocks it goes straight into play dead, doesn't it? He just falls down. Yeah. That's pretty safe. That's pretty safe.
Yeah, you can hold down and go straight to neutral ground.
Right. And then
which is crazy, yeah.
And then you could bait that like purposely whiff it, so someone tries to jab you out of there, and there's free launch because the whiff over the play dead.
So good,
it's so good. It's so good.
I think 4-4-3+4 is gonna hit a lot of people. A lot of people are gonna be really frustrated. You can use it in every Oki game, like you can imagine using any of his stances. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna. We're gonna have a fun time Thursday. Okay, so moving on from. Oh, and then he actually also said we can go over this very quickly, like listed. Historically, strengths and weaknesses. I guess I'll start with this since you start with the top 7. Historically, I think getting close has always been one of his problems. His gap closing ability has never been the best because it kind of makes sense when you look at it from a balance perspective because you look at this character who is all about killing you with mix-ups and forcing you into mix-ups. So it kind of makes sense that he would have a hard time getting close because if he could get close really easily, then he'd be just stupidly strong because he could always just force mix up. And instead, you know, they balance it so that he has to really try hard to get closer so he can start his game and start doing all his stances and stuff as a weakness anyways. His block punishment also has never been too strong, at least standing-wise. His low block punishment is pretty good because he has the unique while standing 3. But standing, you didn't really get too much until 14 because now he has the 1+2-1, which is really good. Unless you're really good and you do the 4-1 ender, but most time you just do 1-2 or 2-1ing stuff. And then sometimes he has to take risks. I would think.
I think every time he has to take risks, I feel like.
I was gonna say it depends on the player. Because I remember watching between Tetsuo and Furumizu. Furumizu doesn't like to do Panther 1-2. He always does Panther 1. But Tetsuo just blows it every time.
It out.
Just like, I don't care. I got the read. I'm going to do it. So I think it depends on the player. But of course, the strengths-wise is obviously he's the mix-up king. You know, he has the most amount of mix-ups in the game probably. And just, you know, if you don't do your homework, he's going to destroy you as a character. He's just easily going to destroy you. His combo damage historically hasn't been that good, except for in Tag 2. Am I right about this?
Yeah, you know, and I think for the most part, the one thing he was lacking was damage scaling. Tag 2 is obviously, I mean, depending on the partner, it's going to definitely do a lot in Tag 2. So he was definitely strong in Tag 2 and 6.0. But in most part, like it was a lot of hard work. Because every time you put yourself in position for a mix-up, if you got it, you can continue on, but you just have to work hard for those mix-ups because eventually, you're going to guess wrong. And someone's going to launch you for it. And every time you guess wrong, every lay player is going to have that feeling of, shoot, I shouldn't have done that. I got to play more safe. And then you're taking away all his tools. So that's why, like, I personally like the 1-2 from the Panther too, just like Tetsuo, because if I can get you to knock down, guess what? If I do it twice, you're gonna start ducking for sure. And guess what? Then guess what? Guess what's coming up? Boom! A mid launcher. So
why does it do so much damage? It's just a generic uppercut. It's just a generic uppercut, and it does so much.
No, you know, it doesn't do too much. I mean, just in case Harada's listening, it does a little damage. It does a little damage. I'm grateful for where it's at right now. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
Of course, the risks, and then of course we talked about in the first question was the meta of you mixing up yourself and try, like especially in a first two setting in tournament, trying to figure out how much your opponent exactly knows about Lei. And so you're just running through the checklist like, oh, he doesn't know about that, he knows about that, he knows about that, he knows about that, he knows about that. And sometimes in tournament, that's by the time you figure out how much your opponent knows about Lei, it's already too late. And you know, you're gonna lose the round, lose the game. So definitely that meta of knowledge fighting is very important. It could be really great for you or also really destroy you at the same time.
Yeah. You got to be really committed when you play Lei in tournament. I've always said this, and you said this early, right? Lei's weakness is his punishment game, right? As far as we know, since the prior, we don't know if Tekken 7 Lei is going to be amazing, right?
Oh my god, 13 frame punish?
Yeah.
4-3-1s, 13 frames? Yikes. Go ahead.
But I believe where Lei excels is his, like, he could turn aggressive from 0 to 100 in instance once you have that mode, right? Once you're in that zone, right? You're in zone 1, he has you where he wants you. He could stuff you out, he aggressively knock you down, he can launch you. And if you have that type of aggression with Lei, more or less, it closes out the round really fast. But if you have someone that's defensively sound and blocks and punishes you, that's where Lei is definitely going to be weak at, you know, obviously. And I would say, like, you got to go in hard and fast with Lei. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there like a Cinda.
Yeah, take advantage of momentum for serious with this character. He's definitely one of those guys where you want to take advantage of every moment where their opponent is scared.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's about. I mean, I talked about this, but it's kind of just a similar thing. Is just whole, you know, you're distracted by playing Lei so much that you're not playing Tekken as much. You know, like you're saying, like, I'm being pressured. Oh, I can play dead out of that. When the smart decision, let's say, would be to sidestep. Like you prioritize Lei's options over good Tekken generic options. Yeah.
You rely on that character's defensive abilities in his move set versus common Tekken practice, normal Tekken, right? You know, playing normal Tekken. You know, shout outs to Jimmy J, normal Tekken.
Second place of Summer Jam, woo!
Summer Jam, woo!
Okay.
In Tekken 5, his play dead was probably one of his best features because it would actually cause a significant whiff anybody, and you get a launcher instant, mix up 50-50, either low or mid. Now, obviously, from since then, 6 and up, he has a transition of, like, I guess we call it, sleep stance, right?
It's now Sidewinder. There's a lot of different terms. A lot of different.
But normally it's just play. We used to call it play dead.
I still call it play dead.
Yeah, so we'll call it play dead. Even though he's like sitting like this, like Buddha, I wouldn't call it. Yeah, I wouldn't call that play dead. But I mean, it was originally play dead. So we're gonna go with play dead. His play dead stance isn't the best. It's definitely toned down from the previous series, but his stances, what makes him amazing is that each time he's on the ground, he actually can transition different positions of his body, and no other character can do that.
That's pretty crazy. He can stay on the ground the longest than any other character because he just stays in play dead.
Yeah, a character with ground game like that is pretty crazy.
Oh man! And then when you stand transition, you actually do a little mini sidestep. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Anything you have to add about his strengths and weaknesses?
I mean, that's about it. I mean, to get everyone going, I know eventually when you guys start picking him up, he comes out September 6th. You know, Lei and Anna joins the battle.
He come out September 6th in Japan, so we could, have him September 5th.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Florida, Toronto.
Oh my god. Alright, so, moving on. Okay, so Stephen Miller asks, I've played LEI since Tekken 2, but never been a serious Tekken player since 7, really. With this in mind, do the stances have actual functions other than just looking cool, or is one stance better at crushing lows, or is one stance better at whip punishing, etc.? And there is definitely truth to this.
This one goes in detail. This one's a big one. I mean, I would just say every stance has its unique ability to destroy the opponent. But just the understanding of what each stance does, like in entirely, it's something that you definitely have to understand. One stance is aggressive movement. One stance can auto mid parry and high. Yeah. Another stance is defensively. You know, you go to dragon, wait for a counter hit attack, and then you go into a snake and look for a more counter hit. It's just amazing how the transition is.
Snake's also very good at poking.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of damage. 1-2-1 takes a lot of damage on counter hit. Yep, into the mix-up. So, man, I don't know how to really answer this one without going into like an hour detail. So, right. But I would just leave it at that. Yeah, like every stance does have its own ability to be aggressive and defensive.
Right. It's hard to define each stance by one thing alone.
Yeah.
If I were to give one sentence for every single stance, I would think Snake is definitely really poke heavy, but also really great counter hits. Dragon has a lot of creativity on it, a lot of different weird moves in it, but they're all really good, especially counter hits. Dragon one back.
Yeah.
The Dragon one back. Oh, that's so good. Then Panther is the really heavily aggressive 50-50 stance with the high crush and the okizeme is good. Okizeme Tiger's another really good 50-50 stance, also very aggressive. But they're all of them could be defensive and aggressive at the same time. And then Crane is just it hits really really hard, but it's also kind of slow. But it's also really good at the wall. So is Drunken. Drunken is also super good at the wall. Yeah. And has also a lot of really unorthodox moves in it. And then the play dead stuff is all 50-50s and crushing, all just different forms of you whiff, time to punish you, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But this is all just the tip of the iceberg. These are just the basic descriptions of the stances. You have lows in Dragon for no reason, but it has a purpose. All these different stances have moves that are against the archer type of the stance. It's something that you're really just gonna have to come figure out when the game comes out. It's really just the homework.
Definitely.
It's the homework.
Yeah.
And now Boos asks, this is a really funny question. Why should I play this character?
Well, it really depends. It really depends on who you are, Bruce. But why should you play? I mean, obviously, if you want to if you like Bruce Lee, you like Jackie Chan, great martial arts, you're gonna definitely love LEI Wulong. Not only is a comedic relief character, he's a fun character to learn. The amount of creativity is based on you and you alone. You can possess as much creativity you want, and you'll excel this character on a whole new level. If you want to play on bread and butter, you play on bread and butter, right? But if you want to turn it up, you can turn it up.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
You can play some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
For archetype, besides being a huge Jackie Chan, if you're a huge Jackie Chan fan, what are you doing not playing LEI, right? I mean,
right.
Come on. If you like mixing people up, if you just like making people guess a lot, Laser Guy, pretty much.
Yeah.
I guess what would be what's about him that would make him not likable for a person?
Not likable.
I guess the work put in to get good at him, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of hard work, for sure. You can easily pick up. I mean, I want to say this very loosely and not in any way that would insult anybody. But you can, why don't you go and pick up a character if you want to play something simple, and pick up Shaheen, for example, right? Shaheen, a simple, or Paul, Kazumi, right? Jack, you have all these array of characters that have simple properties, simple basic movement, simple Tekken, right? Or you can dive deeper into what you may or may not like, but into a character that has depth, right? I guess I want to say it like that, in depth, because you can really do a lot with LEI.
Very, very sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I answered that correctly.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, it was a very broad question, so I think we
Yeah.
just did the best of our ability. If you like Jackie Chan, you like mixing people up, and if you like a character with a lot of stuff, okay? There's a lot of stuff with Lei, then play Lei. If you don't like memorizing a lot of stuff, and you don't like mixing people up, and for some reason you don't like Jackie Chan, then don't play Lei.
I think his previous moveset list, if I remember correctly, is 128. Right? Is it something like that?
I think it's more than that.
It was like around there.
I think it was actually in Tag 2. I think it was 170 something.
70,
like
yeah.
Because actually high 70s because the last 5 moves in the training mode move list are sample combos. So
okay.
So -5 is probably like 175.
Wow.
Something like that.
So I mean, there you go.
That's not even counting the transitions.
Yeah. And there's new moves now too.
Oh boy. Oof. New moves too. He got a good amount of new moves too.
Yeah, he did.
Chino Armoa, I don't know if I'm saying that right, asks, is Haha Step actually viable to create whiffs? Now this is interesting because it changed a lot since it was a thing. And I'm not going to be the best on this, so you got this, I hope.
So since you're asking about Haha Step, I have already understanding that you have a good understanding about how this works already. Now, since Tekken 5, Haha Step was probably one of the best forms of backdashing. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at Tetsuo from Tekken 5, it's all over there. He's the god of Haha Step. Tekken 6, his Haha Step was definitely slightly nerfed. Wasn't as viable because backdashing was really good in Tekken 6 already. And going forward, Tekken Tag, Haha Step was amazing because you only need it when you tag in Haha Step a couple of frames and then you're out of line of punishment. But you didn't need to do it all the time across the board, right? Like very flashy. Also from Tekken Tag, they changed his stances because 3+4 also now goes into a transition of animal stance change. If you may have not known that, and it also has a auto parry in 3+4, and you can actually change into animal stance, any of your animal stances from there.
So many ideas with that. I'm thinking so much about that 3+4 parry.
yeah. So because this new move list is out, so to use Haha Step, you actually will use 3+4 sometimes by mistake, and you'll activate that. So that actually nerfs Haha Step.
I agree. It's easy to make that mistake. It's very easy to get accidentally.
Yeah. So we'll see how it works in Tekken 7, but we don't know if it's viable yet for 7. It was viable in Tag and then in 5, and for 6, not too much.
Not too much. So it might be a nice parlor trick, or it might still be good. It depends. Also, in the note, the stages in Tekken 7 are pretty small compared to the previous Tekken, so that might make it a little bit not as good because you don't need to move as far back.
Yeah.
I just lost my list. All right. So, and for the folks at home who don't know, what is Haha Stepping actually? Because that's why probably people are watching this video.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking, Haha Step was a transition that cancels out his back turn. So for Lei Wulong, when you hit back 3+4, it puts some back turn. But there was a trick to canceling that by sliding 3-4 into back. So you cancel the back turn, sliding 3-4, rinse and repeat, and you would actually hear a back turn noise. His back turn noise would be like ha. He'll scream. Yeah. So every time you hit back cancel, slide 3-4, whatever, you constantly would hear ha 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 ha, and then that's where Haha Step comes from.
And then they changed the noise of it in T6 and
yeah, sound bites from like Streets of Rage.
And then you do the just super fast cancels.
Dude, I can imagine Hitbox doing that now. So
boy, time to pick up a Hitbox.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically an advanced backdash, but its viability we don't know yet. We don't know.
Yeah.
Jonathan Kennedy, this is going to be specifically. Well, I mean, it starts specifically for you, but I guess I could also talk about it. Jonathan Kennedy asks, in the Level Up Your Game vid for Tekken 6, Sui talked about how good Panther was for Oki. I'd like to see some useful and practical ways to set that up. Thanks.
Hey. Well, previous in Tekken 6 and 5, Panther has a special ability of moving. Once in Panther, which you can activate, right? It's like it goes into a very low sitting form, right? And it's a chase form, is what I call it. You can give chase because normal forward, if you hit forward in this stance, it actually makes him jump forward like really fast.
Yeah.
So you can hit forward and hit down back without canceling it and hit forward again, and actually will make the character jump twice as fast forward, which gives it a Panther-like aggressive attack. That's why it was super aggressive. And in this stance, you can actually, back then, before Tekken 7, you can roll back and not get launched, but before you can roll back, catch, and get launched, right? So with that cancel, you can actually roll, get them to tech, or roll back, and then you dash forward and get a free launcher with 2. If they tech roll, you get an instant 50-50, because as soon as they tech, they have to force a low ground attack or a mid launcher. So you're going to take multiple lows, or you're going to take that launcher. Yeah.
And people thought the Devil Jin wave dash on Wake Up was scary.
yeah. This is probably when it's scary, and I'm sure Pepperbeef and myself will show many of you how to perform this. It's really dangerous, and I hope they didn't change it in this one. They shouldn't have, but we'll see. That's why.
Well, it's because the Tekken 7 Oki system is vastly different from previous games, so we're gonna have to see how it's gonna play out there. You know, the interesting thing I was thinking is that you can't back roll in this game, at least normally. I'm wondering if you could play dead back roll. Because that was like a really good way to kill time, was play dead, then they come up to you like, oh, let me get away, and then you just roll away, and you create this huge like full screen distance between each other.
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder if they're gonna allow that.
Yeah, I really want to, yeah, that's actually a good, I haven't really thought about that one. That one's gonna be really crazy to
think about
see.
It.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Okay, so yeah, so basically Panther is a hyper aggressive, and it moves you fast, very fast. I mean, makes you move forward very fast, so it forces mix-ups, especially on Wake Up. And its low is basically a hell save, knocks you down and forces you right back into the mix-up anyways.
And and plus with Rage Drive now for Tekken 7, it actually tailspin.
It's a Ling launcher. it's a Ling Rage Drive.
Yeah, it's a Ling Rage Drive. We don't even, wow. What if it knocks on regular normal tailspins normally?
Then the Rage Drive version is safe?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
No.
Unclean. See, clean knockdown, and 2 is the tailspin.
No.
It kind of makes sense.
Oh my god.
It makes sense because you still can get launched by a hop kick, and you can't defend mids, right? So it's like a give and take. I don't know.
Oh my god! If that is the case, LEI is like instant S tier. Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But I mean, for sure, the Rage Drive is good.
No, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of them I think are going to be good. I mean, I'll talk to you about this later. But I think the weakest one is Crane.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't know what it does besides launching you. That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a mix up with Crane 4, but anyways. You guys don't even know what I'm talking about in the video. It's still like, what? Crane what? Okay, so MCM W10001, another weird name. A question for your LEI video, but you probably gotten it already. What are his fastest / most useful stance transitions to his stances? Ooh, another in-depth question. This is highly opinion-based, I think. Yeah,
this one you're gonna get the gauge of the LEI Wulong forms, because everything is gonna be challenged. If I can name one transition that is very scary, it's Snake into Panther.
Snake into Panther for sure is super good.
Because it causes a big whiff. You can
into a high crush.
In the high crush, yeah.
Right.
I think that if I'm just gonna pick one, because I don't want everyone to come after me about it, but I think that's his best transition right there. Scary.
Right, definitely for sure. I would say if you were to pick your favorite transition for every stance, like you don't have to explain it, but what would you pick?
My favorite transition from every stance.
For every stance, like getting into the stance.
Oh, to get into the stance. I mean, I mean, are we talking like back 2-3? Like, you know,
the manual transition? We could say
that's
fine.
Manual transition is probably pretty, like, manual transition is something I use a lot in game because sometimes you don't want to go into animal stance based off an attack, like down 4 into snake, hold 4, right? Like that's one of those, right? That's like one of my favorite ones, right?
I like that one too a lot. That would be my favorite personally.
Yeah. So if down 4 was already plus on hit, and if they don't block it, you get an instant, you know, snake attempt, right? That's what I would say. Like that is probably my favorite transition to go into snake. But manual stances is
are very good. Yes.
Yeah, very good because you don't want to just, if you're trying to get a spacing game, you're trying to figure them out. I want to go into a certain stance. I want to just input it, go into the stance, and then start my aggression or what I was going to.
Dragon?
Dragon probably be... Yeah.
Mine is sidestep 1 up, personally.
Sidestep 1 up. Step up. You mean the snake bite into the dragon and going into the dragon, right?
Going into dragon.
Going into the dragon. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't understand the question. But just transitioning into a stance is what you're asking, right?
Yeah, I think he doesn't mean. I mean, that's still a good information you gave to Second to Panther, but I think he means getting into each individual stance.
Oh, each individually. How would I do it in a situation? I see.
Right.
Sorry about that. That's my bad.
Side.
Yeah, dragon. Man, that's a good one. The best way for me is Razor Rush after the second hit of Razor Rush or second block into dragon, right?
I feel like we shouldn't count Razor Rush, but
I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Because Razor Rush is so free, right? Because like, counter hit, let me go to Tiger because it's free, right? So
yeah.
I mean, if you want to catch all, just say Razor Rush, but there are other stance transitions.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right, definitely. Man, dragon.
There's not that many. That's the thing.
That's not that many, yeah.
That's why they added back 2 forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dragon, sidestep 1 into dragon is probably super good. No, especially on hit. Super crazy. Yeah. That whole like spark when he gets jabbed in the eye is like dangerous.
That's the whole move is also really crazy. Lots of damage and free mix up. Dang. All right, let's go.
Another one would be forward 1+2 into Panther, right? Like,
I never used that one. I just using it. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
It's really good against the wall plus frame. So like you take the 2 and then you go into Panther. It's instant mix up. Yeah, that's how I would go into for Panther. Another one. Sidestep. I'm sorry. Let me do.
You can just sidestep 1 for Tiger. That's fine.
I
just want to change it up. You could think about I said my Panther one. For Panther, I'm gonna cheat and say snake 1-2-1 forward.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Yeah. Into Panther. Yeah. Down forward 1+2 into Tiger.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one too.
That's pretty good. And
Forces crouch doesn't on block.
Yeah.
And on hit too. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. And man,
Crane is. I think Crane is really easy to say which one.
Yeah. I was like, 4-3.
4-3. What else are we gonna say? Up back forward to Crane now.
4-3. Drunken. You know, from a stance, it's sidestep.
Sidestep 2.
Yeah.
Sidestep 2.
2-2.
Sidestep 2-2 is better. Sidestep 2 forward by itself is not that good. Sidestep 2.
Yeah. Puts them in a staggering stance and then leg transitions to drunken.
That's good. I actually really like play dead into drunken.
Into which one?
And like play dead and then up into drunken.
Oh, play dead up to drunken. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I like because you take one mix up and you turn into another one, and it's probably one of the most ambiguous out of all the stances.
Yeah. It's super scary whenever you see LEI fall down and play dead too. Like you don't want to attack. He's like, what is he gonna do? He's drinking on me.
I was like, oh, let me hit him, and drunken one on the wall.
Drunken one.
Yeah. Dude, or the punch parry. Oh no, that's good stuff.
Oh man,
Thursday.
Dude, I can't wait. Just thinking about all these like moves already. Like you guys already we're already me and Beef are already clamoring to think about what we can do, but I know you guys are just starting and you guys are probably listening to us like some mad scientists. Like, what are you guys talking about?
Very much.
But once you guys get your hands on LEI, you kind of dabble with them, get the breakdown, look at any of these tutorials that we have. You're definitely gonna start understanding where we come from when we talk like
indeed. It's gonna take a while, even with tutorials, but there's a framework. Like everything sort of starts to make sense.
Yeah.
Phoenix is another one that doesn't really have that many transitions. The manual transition is no bueno.
Yeah.
So I guess ballroom dance is probably the best one. Not
the best one.
Yeah, better than 3 back, right? Yeah.
Better than 3 back? No, 3 back is pretty good, I think.
You like 3 back?
Yeah, because it causes a whiff, right? So if you're like previously, if you're getting attacked, it was like almost his sway back attack, right? So it's a high like stance that forces a step back and counter hit 3 if you get hit by it. So if counter hit 3 hits your plus frame, and you're in stance after that. But man, I don't know. Ballroom is pretty good. Ballroom is pretty good.
For the people at home, ballroom is full crouch, down forward, 2-1-4. It's low, mid. The 2 lows are not natural, but the first low is plus on hit. Second hit is neutral, I think, and then it leaves him in back turn. And then the last hit is a knee, so you can't parry. It's a mid. It's also safe, I think.
Yeah,
it's safe. And then and then you could cancel the knee right before it hits into neutral, so you could do a mix-up from there too.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second. So that's and then the play deads is all usually just manually going to play dead, right? That does not matter. The combat roll of 4/3+4 and forward 4/3+4 are decent, but I think the manual transition is probably the best one.
Yeah, manual transition is always the best.
Because that's what it's supposed to be for, right? Just
straight down, like either defense or offensive use. Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty good. I just lost where it was. Okay, here we go. Tranquility 2099 asks from Discord, I want to know if LEI has good sabaki, parries, and reversal stuff. Another interesting question. With the addition of 3+4, if you can time that, that's really dangerous. 3+4 into manual transition is really strong. If you guys don't know what 3+4 is, we talked about it earlier. You got it in tag 2. It's basically 3+4 and then tilde into like the other moves, like slide inputs. So not slide kicks, like pressing one button to another really fast. So he can 3+4 transition into all of the animal stances, and then the beginning animation is a parry. That leads to no automatic attack, so you can't chicken it. And if you fall into this parry, he gets pretty much a guaranteed hit from one of his stances. Basically, if you land this parry and it goes into Tiger or goes into Panther, it's a free launch, pretty much.
You're dead.
You're dead.
Yeah.
The hard thing about this parry is that it is a very delayed active window, so most parries are really fast startup, but this parry is a little bit slower, so you have to get a really strong read. And then some of his stances, the animal stances, have the auto parry. Tiger auto parries mids and highs if you're holding forward, but no elbows and knees, no shoulder, weird stuff. Panther has the auto low parry if you hold forward.
And the crane up 4-3 if you're in crane. Goes into automatic launcher if you go for a low from that stance.
Automatic hop. I hope they buff the hitbox on that, because sometimes it would whiff. And then Drunken has the manual transition parry. Was that plus? If you the sidestepping auto sidestep?
Yeah, it was plus before. So we'll see if it's plus. Yeah, so it's how you perform it. It's 4/3+4 into Drunken, and it only parries like mid and high attacks, but it only fist, like hands attacks, right? 1 or 2. So either hands, it puts him in Drunken, and then he just spins you around. Actually, it's a good spin. Like it works really well against like Steve. Probably works well with Geese. Any attacks that like need like some type of like aggressive, like 1/1 Mishimos, things like that. It was actually pretty cool. I used it a lot. So
I also the window also was very big. It was easy to land parry, very easy. I remember I was watching, I forget Furumiya's Hetsuo is that they would do that auto sidestep with the parry, and then they would do 1+2 throw. But because it's 1+2 and you're on off axis, it's gonna be a side throw, but the break is 1+2, so it's mixy, very intelligent stuff. And then the other drunken parry. Anyways, I meant the other drunken parry, the tap forward one.
Oh yeah. From drunken stance. Once you're in drunken stance, you'll go into like a drunken state, right? And if you time the forward motion by tapping forward into a punch attack, it actually lifts the opponent's hand up, like Steve Fox's parry, where if you're doing a punch parry, Steve Fox hits your hand up and then he punches you, and it's kind of like that with LEI. So you tap forward, you do the drunken parry, and then you follow up with an attack. So that was really a big. I think that was fan service. That was such a fan. Yeah,
it was very hard to do.
It was very hard, but when you got it, dude, it was amazing because it was like you've seen that in every Jackie Chan, like Drunken Master. Yeah, he's like coming over there, attack, punch, oops, And sometimes you don't even do an attack; you just hold forward and go back into it again just to scare them. It's pretty. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty good, and practically wise, it was a free launch or wall splat, pretty much.
Yeah.
Launcher was he has a wall splat mid in Drunken, and he also has a launcher.
Drunken 4.
Drunken 4 the launcher, and Drunken 1 the wall splat. Well, Drunken 4 also wall splats, but you probably want to do one. What was that? He has any good? That's most of his parries, I think so. Any other parries that are missing? Or reversals or anything like that?
Reversals?
He doesn't have a reversal, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't have a reversal.
Oh, we should also mention that when he parries from Tiger or Panther, well, except Panther is a low parry. Oh my god, I just realized the auto low parry from Panther is a combo starter!
Yeah.
Oh, T7 is crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Okay, but what I meant is the Tiger parry is just a generic parry. He just gets plus frames. He doesn't get anything guaranteed. There's no DSS into 1 or Brian into the mock punch, nothing like that. And I think that's it for parries, right? Nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, Power Crush wise,
442.
442. Now you think it's 442. I think it's only Phoenix 2, but it could be. It could be.
For Power Crush?
Right.
I think 442 will be a Power Crush. I think down 4-3 will be a Power Crush.
Wow. Power Crushing homing move? Whoa.
I mean, I think it's going to be punishable, but I mean, besides his homing move that homing move is so slow.
Okay, wait. Before you go into the home move, there is a question.
Sorry, there's more.
No, there is a question about the homing move later on.
Okay.
So I want to save it for that.
Save it. We'll save it.
Okay.
Thanks for keeping me on track, by the way. I got
you. No, don't worry. This is all good information. So I guess that's it for parries then. We don't know what his power crushes are going to be, so we'll see. Except for Phoenix 2 / 442. Okay, so the Rick Meister asks, is down back 4 OP? What a question.
No, I don't think it's OP.
I don't think it's OP either.
Yeah, because if you can, OP would be if it was minus 14 or 13.
Yeah,
right?
it is a launch. It's a sweep. It's a launch.
It's a sweep. Yeah. So it's a launch, but you can block it and you can launch it too.
Also sidestep left too.
Yeah, you can sidestep left. So just those mostly. I mean, just on that alone, you can easily avoid it, and punish it correctly. No, it's not OP. I think it's good, but not OP.
No, and you do have to be clean hit for it to launch.
Yep.
Too. Or counter hit.
Counter hit or clean hit.
Or clean hit, right.
Yeah.
Don't be a range 0 with LEI. You're gonna get mucked up. Alright, so Timo Richin asks, in which space is LEI comfortable zone? I assume he's talking about a range. So what range is LEI the best in? I think he's kind of good at all ranges. I mean, ideally he wants to be close, but he's kind of a threat from far away too.
Yeah.
In terms of whiffing too,
Range 1 and range 2 is where he's deadly, because it causes a lot of he can hit you from any of those range, obviously, like you said. But the big part of it is LEI can create space between your attack and cause you to whiff and launch as well. So at that range, he can decide to turn up or basically get out of there and use a special ability like back turn 3+4, like back turn, get out, cancel, right, from a crouch stance. And then if they're being aggressive, you can go low, stay back turn, do low, or a mid. Range 0 would be really good against wall for Lei, but realistically, I think Tekken 7 has a lot of open space stages, like, you know. So yeah, I would go with range 1 and 2.
I think that's a pretty good way to answer it. He has moves for pretty much any range, so regardless of where he's comfortable at the most, it's kind of, you have your options. If there's anything Lei isn't lacking, it's options. He has a lot of those. Okay, so moving on. E.T. Pizza God asked, what's his best homing move, do you think? And I'm also going to add to this, how does Lei deal with people that are stepping? That's another thing.
Sorry, I didn't catch that last one.
Oh, so sorry.
It's homing move.
He's asking about like what's like the good homing move, and like what does Lei have a problem tracking people? You know, is stepping a weakness?
I
would think that
you want to ask? Yeah.
The best homing from standing is down 4-3 because it's the one that it's decent reward with, it knocks down. It's a mid. A lot of good range too. It's just the only problem with down 4-3 is actually the same problem with Leo, is that it's slow. And so by the time you want to home someone, like you could get beat out by sidestep into counter 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is when you get desperate for homing, it's really easy to counter it Lei. Because of this though, like he has to resort to tracking in other means. His down for 1 tracks really well both sides, but its range is not very good.
Yeah.
But I think the special thing about Lei is that his stances, because they all can move forward, they realign really well. And a lot of his best moves from those stances also happen to track also really well. So not all the moves track in the stances, but he has ways to make them track, and a lot of the good moves track really well anyways. So I think, like, in general, he can be stepped like any other character can, like, oh, this move will track this way, and this move this way, but, you know, he has his own variations of how into telling someone, hey, don't step, because stance realign, and, you know, like, for example, like, I'm gonna forward dash, and he step 4-4-3 right away.
Yep. Yeah. 4-4. I agree.
Back turn two. So
back turn 2. I agree with you completely. Because Lei has that ability to go forward neutral and forward motion, and his attacks always seem to be moving forward. The tracking is pretty decent normally on most of his attacks. Down 4-3 was his main homing move, like you were saying, super slow. I hated it. I hated the fact that he did it, and he did a stupid like stomp thing to go with there. Yeah. Did not need it. He did not need that.
We all had that for a while. They took it away with 3-4. They took it away.
Yeah.
They were like, this is stupid.
Yeah. So I hope they took it away in this version. But at the same time, you know, hopefully maybe they sped it up. We'll see. But normally, I mean, knock on wood, hopefully Tekken 7's his Tekken Tag and 6 tracking abilities move forward in his attacks in Tekken 7.
So So he has ways to deal with it like any other character. It's not. I don't think it's a huge weakness. Like, for example, for Lars right now, sidestep right just really mucks up his day. Same thing for Leo. Here's the secret to beating Leo. None of the people step against her, I tell you. Eating back 1-4 forever. And all the other moves. So, moving on from that, Landon D asks, what is Lei's respect me move? As in, what does he do when people are really trying to, like, just constantly hit him out of things? Like, counter hit, like, stop doing this, stop doing that. And it's usually dick jab. It's usually dick jab that stops people, I think, that want to attack against Lei.
It would be, okay, if someone's in my face, and it's, you better respect me. There's 2 moves that come to my mind that I use, besides dick jab, right? Would be, is up, back, forward.
Right. Oh, before you keep going, sorry to stop you. I was actually saying dick jab as the opponent is stopping you from doing stuff.
Sorry, okay.
But your thing is still good. You keep going.
Okay.
You said up back 4, which is crazy.
Up back 4, yeah, right. Which is crazy good. And then up back 3 also is crazy good because it avoids the down jab and pushes you back. And then it forces them to try to come forward, but then by then, if they whip something, standing 3 will come out. and start a like a defensive game. But those two are really good. I mean, up back 4, if it's safe, great, But it's also one of those things like you can't throw these pokes at me, right? That's another good one. Plus, he goes back to the stance and counter hit, right? Yeah, and then up back, same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Counter hit 4. He has magic 4.
Magic 4. Hopefully, they didn't do him like Shaheen though, because Shaheen's magic 4 is punishable now.
Oh,
so it's crazy. So, but yeah, just his magic 4 was his bread and butter too, in all of the franchise previous Tekken series. So that is also another one. I actually missed it. Thank you for reminding.
Yeah, right. And then the combo in it, hopefully it's easier, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's still the same for different twists.
Yeah, for neutral and 2. Yeah,
it's not too hard.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just timing.
It takes some practice. It does take some practice. And up 4-3, we mentioned up 4-3, right? The counter tool. And then I think I was thinking if you're pressuring someone, and let's say you do 2-1, which is what, like +4 or something like that? Not that much plus. Not because that 1-2 was the one that was more plus range, right? Say 2-1, and then they're like, what's the character that's really like I'm Josie and I'm gonna press 4. Like I'm gonna contest you even though I just got hit.
Right.
What does LEI do in that situation where he reads that you're gonna do something like that?
Sorry, I lost your mic again. Yeah, sorry. I was listening to you. I heard Josie and then something about contesting, but I know I'm sorry. I think your mic drops and I don't hear. I see your mouth.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine because I always edit this. Oh. Anyways, the point is like, okay, say you get plus frames and then they just mash on you back. Like, what do you do? How do you just stop that? I always think counter hit 4 or raise or
counter hit 4 or forward 4 1
or 4. Ah, yeah,
forward 4-1. Yeah, counter hit into a combo.
I think is it 4-4-1 or 4-4-2? I think it's 4-4-2.
It's forward 1 into the razor rush of the 1. So forward 4 into the 1. So
okay,
yeah, so and then it'll crumple them, and the 1 will pick them up, and then you get a meaty juggle after that.
That gun does 1 billion damage.
Yeah, it does a lot.
I completely forgot about that move.
Yeah, so that one's really good. Those are my probably go-to.
And it's safe. Oh,
yeah, and it goes into stance like razor rush. I'm like,
woo, yeah. Juicy. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty decent. Wolf rush, of course. It's fast. Like 12, something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, this question is directed at me mostly, I think. Iron Spider Lord FGC asks, how would you approach exploring LEI from a Leo main perspective? Because if you're not aware somehow, if you're watching the video, I don't know how you wouldn't be, but I stopped playing LEI in Tekken 7 because he's non-existent until now. So I started playing Leo over my other main Law because at the time I didn't like the fact that Law was very low reward and I had to like itty bitty pokes work really hard to kill you. Like there were rounds where I would hit you 7 times and I'm like, alright, one more mix up and he's dead, and I just get death fisted and 1 read, it's over. And I hated that. So I switched to Leo because her reward was better. And eventually I just got more and more comfortable playing the character, and I made a full switch to Leo as my main in Tekken 7. And the thing about Leo is, me and Bloodhawk have this opinion that Leo is like a Brian with more tools, but not as high reward. So she's a slow, tanky counter character that has this really great wall game and a lot of mix-ups, like 2 really good stances, and a lot of utility moves, like 4-2 the auto sidestep, a lot of good parries, and a lot of mix-up strings as well. But the thing about this is that LEI is really not like anyone else there is in the game. Like, the amount of things that he can do compared to what everyone else can do, there's no comparison. Like, I could even say that Xiao Yu and Yoshimitsu are similar, but they're really not. So going in from Leo combined with LEI, I think the only similarities is that both Leo and LEI have crush stances, because box dance and also play dead. They both have good mix-ups, but LEI's are much more intensive. I also suppose that Leo is safer than LEI, for the most part. I mean, with LEI, he's as risky as you make him, and if you're playing LEI, you're probably going to take more risks than you would think you would.
Yeah.
But LEI is also not as counter hit emphasized. Like, Leo has it's obvious for Leo that you want to counter hit with this character. Back 1, down 1, back 1+4, quarter circle forward 1. All these moves, crazy reward on counter hit. So they want you to counter hit. But with Lei, he has these great counter hit options like Wolf Rush to the 3, forward 4, 4-2, Razor Rush, Magic 4, up 4, but you don't necessarily need to make your game about counter hitting. So he's just an addition to having Lei. So I think if you were going from Leo to Lei, it's very different as a character. The only thing they really share is the fact that they're both kung fu characters. And just generic tech and stuff like down for 1 and jabs and all that. Oh, I guess Leo's punishers are much better, so block punishment. So except for blocking lows, because Lei having unique wall standing 3 is really valuable.
10 frame punisher.
Yeah, even compared to Leo's great wall standing 4/1+2, which is getting nerfed in season 2. Lei's low block punishment is crazy. So it's just like learning a new character. They don't share too many similarities, other than just being both tech characters that have, hey, I have a counter tool, hey, I have a down 4-2, hey, I have a down for 1, these sorts of things. Hopefully my phone doesn't die. It's at 1%, but we're almost there. We're almost there. Stephanie Nuggs asks, what are some examples of ways to use his stances? Oh, this is interesting because we actually talked about this. The question is basically, how do you not get caught up in thinking too much about stances and trying to play Tekken? How do you stick towards, I want to play Tekken, you know? How do you stick to that game plan? This is more of a tournament kind of question, because it's very related to playing Lei with a clear head, you know? How do you not get all that noise in your head?
You know, when I started off using Lei, I thought heavily about his stances and how they're going to carry me in the tournament. But when you play someone that knows how to play against Lei, the next best thing is to play the character as simple as possible, but minimizing using certain key stances to get in and out for attack. So you got to pick and choose when to attack with him in manimal stances. He still has decent amount of regular attacks that will, you know, beat out other players, like 4-3-1. They're like mid-high attacks, but you could still punish 4-3-1, down 4-2, 4-4-2, 4-4-4. Those are just some of the
a lot of great generic tools outside of stances.
Yeah, down 4, you know, is also good. You know, I mean,
down 3, back 1.
Yep.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are, I mean, and his sidestep game wasn't too bad either. He could sidestep. Back then, he was actually, his frames were considered, like his frame mass, like his body, was actually considered like close to like the smaller female classes. Because of that, they had a lot of opponents or players had to adjust a specific type of combo for Lei. So certain things that would hit like, you know, Devil Jin or anything like that wouldn't hit normally for Lei sometimes. So I'm not too sure if they're going to continue this tradition of this, you know, how big his frames are. But yeah, you could definitely play him straight up. But I mean, you need his tools. But,
yeah, I mean, like I said, every Lei player does differently. So it's all picking and choosing what you want to do in the moment, as long as you're doing it smart and with confidence.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's another tough question. Same thing. Okay, Drunken Lei asks, ooh, this is a good question. Who do you think will be Lei's worst matchup in T7? Interesting question. Do you think it'll be Feng again? Feng was always pretty bad.
Yeah, Feng was always good. Feng, I think Feng, Leo.
Yeah, you can beat people in the mirror by just picking Leo.
Let's see.
I was thinking Josie.
Josie.
Because I'm thinking a lot about Bruce's ability to float playdead. Really.
But easily. I think before, when Bruce was in game, it was always, yeah, it was great. But I don't know, floating with Josie and Lei, man, that's a tough one, because I know Josie's a little different. I mean, her down, like,
I'm thinking down 3-4, but it might not float, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna float. It will knock them away. Who with you is good besides those two?
Really, I would imagine it's a character that can really keep them out.
Yeah, that crushes him a lot.
That crushes him a lot and makes it really hard to use his tools. Like
Claudio. Claudio would be good.
Claudio.
Yeah.
What do you think, Claudio?
Just because he has certain attacks that are really hard to neglect and avoid, especially when you're an animal stand, right?
He's big
when
hitboxes.
His hitboxes will own you up. That's another one. Who else would be good before?
Thinking as well. Punishment-wise, that's kind of just generic because he's, he has punishable moves and it doesn't really mean much. Like down 4 was only -11. He doesn't really have stuff that's like, ooh, he can punish this, therefore the character is good against LEI. Like, he doesn't really have that kind of stuff, except for Feng having counter hit back 1 is really important against LEI.
And back 4.
And back 4, and easily evading moments where LEI is like, I'm gonna pressure you now, and then Feng gets out of the way. Yeah. So it's part of the reason Feng is really hard for LEI.
What do you think? Ling? What do you think of Ling? I've always thought LEI was a Ling killer. Because he hits AOP a lot.
It's a good question. I think, as long as you can check AOP, but he might have a hard time checking back turn too, though. Because he's slow on the range attacks, and you know how Ling players always go into rain gas from far away. Oh, I'm like, I want to hit it, but then it's a bait. Like, you can't just 4-4 do that for free. I mean, you can 4-4-3 AOP, but there's so much more to the character. But she does have a hard time avoiding the stance stuff with AOP. Like, a lot of LEI's stuff tends to hit lower.
I already know. Geese. Geese will be his #1 villain. Back 3-2.
You think that's really bad, huh?
It's gonna kill his stances every time. And if you got meat, throw it out. And then he can parry Razor Rush. He can parry a lot of stuff.
It feels like against Geese, you're gonna really slow down. Slow down.
But we'll see how the game comes out, right?
Counter hit dick jabs. That's what I'm just thinking. Counter hit dick jabs are gonna create combos, so maybe Akuma too.
Right, or any character that has special ability to create something off a special like down 1, right? Akuma, Geese, Liza. Yeah. Those are the characters that probably have to look out for.
Oh, not only that, when you have the free mix-up for opponent, they get EXPP or something.
Yep. Oh man, that's a game changer. Oh man, this is gonna suck playing those characters.
Well, you still have Eliza. Well, or maybe you won't. How is she looking? How's she looking in season 2? I'm not sure.
She's not that bad. I think they made some really good changes for her. She'll be my close secondary. I mean, obviously she took me to Evo, but I can't cast her aside like that.
This is also part of the reason why I'm not gonna drop Leo for completely. After Summer Jam.
Yeah, I mean, we're character specialists, so we're not ones to like throw away those characters that have given us so much, and we enjoyment, right? I love enjoying Eliza's playstyle, and now that LEI is returning, I definitely love to pick him up again.
It's like that meme. Why not both?
Why not both?
I mean, I love putting people to the wall with Leo and then making them just shit their pants.
It is. Leo's probably one of those type of characters where you just gotta constantly worry about everything.
She hits so hard. Like, everything hits so hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't believe they didn't take away counter recorder circle 4-1. I think that thing is stupid. Okay, so that's a pretty good opinion, Joe. That meter character is really... Anyways, so 2 more questions to go. Ludi asks, is it worth using 4-4-1-2 as a Punisher? Is it worth learning?
Sorry. Is it worth using what?
4-4-1-2. Wolf Rush.
Oh, Wolf Rush. Of course. It's always worth it because it's safe on block and you get a counter hit. Guess what? You're dead.
No, he's saying as a Punisher.
Oh, as a Punisher, is it worth it? No. Unless you have mastered neutral punishing, like blocking while going neutral. Unless you master that, it's not worth it. You might as well do the
really hard to do too.
Yeah, it's really hard. So your best stuff going 2-1 cancel or 2-1 delay 3+4. Because that does a lot of damage. It's gonna wall break for sure. I know that's gonna wall break.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It wall splattered it, so it's gonna wall break.
Yeah. So
with Wolf Rush, basically to do it as a block punisher, you have to master how much time you need to input neutral, which is really, really hard. Because you need to minimize neutral while also still having neutral. And then you need to input 4-1-2. So it's tough. It's tough. It's
I mean, if you land it, dude, you'll be loved. Everyone that understands LEI would love you. You know, they'd be like, "Oh, LEI of America."
That was so shit. It's like all the Brian players looking at Jimmy's combos, like, "Oh my god, so
oh my god, Brian!" Blah, 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 blah,
oh my god, Cody with the counter down 4-2.
Down 4-2, electric, yeah.
You know, like it's gonna be like that. But how many LEI players are going to be there in the crowd? That's the question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's okay. So it's realistically I-13 though, right? In terms of like, give or take, like what's the word? Human error.
Yeah.
And the final question, Anthony XD asks, "Ooh, this is interesting. This is kind of broad, so we don't have to talk about this too much. Is what are common options to stop LEI's pressure?" Now, we could talk about, because here's a lot of ways to create pressure, right? So, a lot of different options for a lot of different things. But generally, I feel that fast poke, and it helps if it's a counter hit. Very fast, get off me tool. If it's slow, you're going to get stuffed out. It has to be a fast tool.
Yep.
Like,
Dick jab.
Dick jab. The Dick jab is the prime example. He had, oh my god, he's gonna destroy Noctis.
Jeez. Another one if you have a good down forward 1, right? I guess. Like LEI, I remember LEI used to using LEI. Like Help Me would use that against LEI players, down forward 1 when LEI was decent. Like Fighting GM would use it a lot too. Season 2, so characters like that will stuff out most of LEI's attack if you have a good, decent one. Not a lot of characters have good down forward ones, that's why. So a lot of them will resort to the Dick jab.
That's weird to think about that not a lot of characters have good down forward ones.
Yeah,
I guess it depends on what you think is a good down forward one. Like obviously Kazumi's is probably amongst the top tier ones.
Yeah. Kazumi was like, ooh, that was it.
Yeah, Dragonov's also crazy range.
Yeah, that one. Geese down forward 1 is good.
Geese down forward 1.
Yeah.
Other
LEI, who else has this stuff?
Lars.
Yeah, Lars is really good.
Lars for sure.
Shaheen, not too bad.
Katarina's isn't that bad either.
Yeah, Katarina's not bad. It's like that short stab. It was like, it's good pressure too.
Laws is finally getting a good one too.
Yeah. So Law's gonna be definitely, but Law's, Law, I think Law has like such a good around game versus LEI. There's certain things he can do that gets around LEI.
Bruce Lee greater than Jackie Chan confirmed.
yeah. Man, dude. But yeah, using last either low or mid hitting attacks that come out at least 10 frames, or 11 frames to stop him from doing.
Has to be fast. This is why we were talking about when we were talking about the matchups. That our first thing in our head was Feng because of counter back 1. It's incredibly annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm thinking Jack. I don't know.
No, Jack's too big. I've seen it get counter hit after down the down 2 by itself or down back 1.
I guess down back 1.
Yeah,
it's
down back.
It's too slow. You think it's too slow?
It's 11, right? It's 11. I think it's 11 now.
Maybe, I'm not sure. I haven't at it.
But
I the start of that matchup after Summer Jam.
But no, yeah. So that's what definitely I would say, something like that. Get LEI out of his stances.
Just because as soon as the thing is, even if it's not gonna hit him, because he can cancel almost all of his stances into blocking.
Yeah.
Even Panther, which does not block mids, he can cancel into blocking mid. He just cancels the stance.
Yeah.
Even the Crane, Drunken Snake, Dragon, and Tiger automatically block mid anyways. If you hold back, so it's not a matter of hitting him; it's a matter of stopping what he's about to do to you.
Yeah, control the pace against LEI, and you'll win. I think that's how it is. If you let LEI run amok on you, you're gonna go 2-0 really quick, and
I will send you a video later. There's a clip of me playing Tag 2 where someone guessed wrong on every LEI mix-up within 5 seconds and they died.
Yeah.
It was like 4-3-1.
Oh boy.
and then I did down forward 1+2 into Tiger, and he immediately got hit by Tiger 4, and his late flow was just gone. Just
gone. Dude. So, yeah, definitely.
Oh, he ducked the down for 1+2 too, so he got hit by it, and then he got Tiger 4.
Then he got Tiger 4 after. Jeez.
He's just like, oh, I should have guessed mid. Let me get stand up. Oh no,
low.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
I can't wait for LEI.
Oh man, he's fun. So that's all the questions that we have there. That's a good variety of questions. People are thinking. People are really thinking about the the character. He's a tough one to start playing, but give it time, and you'll be talking about Dragon 1+2 mix-ups into Play Dead nonsense into dropping. I don't even know that you'll start sounding like a mad scientist.
Yeah.
I remember last week before Summer Jam, I was training with Bloodhawk, Reno was there, Bloodhawk, Exalted, and Liquid, and I was taking the train back to Manhattan with Exalted, and we were the only people in the train car talking, and everybody was silent, and it was just me and Exalted talking about LEI the whole ride back. So people around us probably thinking like, what are these?
What are these jobbers talking about?
What are these nerds talking about? Snake 1-2-1, it went into Panther. What is that? So you have any closing thoughts? I think it's pretty good amount of questions.
Yeah, look, thank you so much for all your submissions on your questions. Thank you also, Dean.
You guys for the call out. So good job.
So,
and you're welcome, yes.
I would say, I always like to thank the host first, so that's why I always say thank you very much, for having me today as well. Thank you, everybody that's tuning in to Pepperbeef2Spicy, because without him, we wouldn't have some great content. I guess the one thing I look forward to is obviously, having LEI in our grasp again. Having Anna Williams, also big shout outs to Namco because
putting Anna
back, 3 additional legacy characters, and of course Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan. So with that, I mean, Negan. I mean, just with that alone, thank you to the Namco team, Harada and Michael Murray and company. Markman, everybody that put this, help bring this together, because it's been a long time that Tekken 7 has been growing tremendously for the last couple of years. And if not for Tekken 7 doing so successfully, we would not have a Season 2. And because of the fans, and because of the viewers, and the people that have so much love for the FGC and Tekken community, we always see Tekken in grand finals, going double Luigi, final round, clutch enders. We have such an array of so many talented players. But because of all that combined, the planets aligning ever so slightly, we have an amazing game. We have an amazing team, and we have an amazing community. So with that, I really want to say thank you to everybody for your support.
Couldn't have said it better, Mike. Couldn't have said it better. Pretty much what everything he said. And I want to thank all the viewers at home who are watching this, and I really hope that it helps you to decide whether you want to play LEI or not. And if you already decide that you're going to play LEI, I hope this helps you get a little bit head start. I'm sure that me and Suiken are going to be doing a lot of content, streams or videos, otherwise talking about the character. Beginner, advanced, intermediate, whatever. A lot of stuff is going to come out on the internet. It's just how it is these days.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be seeing you as fellow LEI players down the line, because, I think part of the reason why LEI wasn't included in the first place was because he's a difficult character, and it takes a lot of grit and a lot of brain power to play him.
Yeah.
So if you want to count yourself amongst the elite that play LEI, we'll see you in tournament or otherwise on stream chats.
Yeah. So don't forget to leave Pepperbeef2Spicy. Is it at
on Twitter?
On Twitter, right?
It's at Pbeef2Spicy, because
Pbeef2Spicy.
Pepper is too long, so I just Pbeef.
Yeah. And your stream though is on Pepperbeef2Spicy.
It's Pepperbeef2Spicy. Yeah.
Spicy, yeah.
Every time someone asks me if hey, do you play on PS4 or PC? Like, what's your thing? It's like Pepperbeef2Spicy. It's the exact same thing everywhere.
Okay.
Everything.
Definitely.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying don't forget to definitely check out the stream. Very smart, up and coming player. Did really well. Congratulations again on Summer Jam and your placing. So a lot of people love you.
Yeah. Oh, you mean this?
Yeah.
I have a feeling the next time I go to the tournament, which might be FCR, maybe.
All right.
I'm gonna run into someone who's gonna ask me to do the pose.
Yeah, you got to. Now you're the meme now. Everyone's gonna love you for it. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, final thanks to the fans of just Tekken in general. You make all this possible. We wouldn't be here talking about LEI if it wasn't for people liking the game and keeping the game alive. Whether you're official, whether you're just a fan, casual, competitive, whatever, random person, thank you so much. All right, so follow Suiken at
UYU underscore Suiken.
Suiken.
Correct.
And he is streaming at Suiken User.
Suiken User.
Anything else? You have YouTube? I don't know.
I do have a YouTube, Suiken User as well. Yeah. So you can find me on YouTube.Suiken User and as well as Twitch's, Twitch.tv /Suiken User, all that jazz.
You'll find.
But you'll definitely check us out. Please do. Keep the questions coming. If you have any concerns, questions about LEI, just fire it off to any of us in the community. We'd love to grow and help you grow yourself. Right?
Yeah. So. I love seeing people get better. It's a weird thing I say, but in tournament, if I beat someone twice within the last 2 tournaments back to back, I tell them you better beat me the 3rd time, or else I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's like I want to see you. Get up to speed.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Yeah.
I want to lose this one.
yeah, because they only grow you because of that.
Yeah, so. I want you to see you to reach up to that height. All right, so thanks for being on the show, Suiken, or the video, whatever, and
Yeah.
What's my favorite? What's my favorite one?
That's your favorite one? Oh my god! I thought it'd be a down for 3, like Ender, where he goes.
That thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, okay, so thanks again, Suiken, and see you later, guys.
Take care, everybody.